Oh, Canada, oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Hey, hosers. Yeah, I know Canadians don't really talk like that. I know a few that do, though. um, this is not my... I didn't even think this would happen. Like, nobody cares what's going on in Australia anymore because Canada's gone full-on ape. Like, ape, tyrannical ape. You stick, like, Mussolini and Pol Pot and a monkey in a blender. You got ape tyranny. And just crazy. This is not my opinion. I mean, this is just full-on hardcore tyranny. I don't know if you know this, and the Canadian press are complete cowards. They're not reporting on any of this. Let's just start out with what happened a few days ago. The horses trampled a little woman. A bunch of Canadians said that she had died. That was incorrect information. Later, and this has been confirmed, there's all these text messages between the cops, the Canadian police. They were joking about trampling the people, including that elderly woman. That's been confirmed. The cops were saying how awesome it was, the spectacle of the old lady getting trampled. Look it up if you don't believe me. So Mr. Castro said the emergency powers must still stay in place, even though he's cleared out all the truckers from downtown. He's given himself, quote-unquote, indefinite control emergency powers. Well, isn't that nice? There's a video this woman was making. She's standing on the sidewalk. She's going to head to a coffee shop. Several cops, looks like about 4 or 5, start walking her way. And they didn't like the fact that she was filming as the cops were walking this way. The cops harass the heck out of her. They threaten her, and they grab her phone. Unbelievable. The Ionic Cafe, who served a bunch of the truckers during the protest, there's videos, and I've seen the video. They're threatening to break into the cafe. So some entity in the government wanted to go full-on totalitarian fascist on this Ionic Cafe, where they served coffee to the truckers. They're violently threatening to break into the cafe. There's all these cops saying they're going to break into it. I think they broke in through the back. I don't know the end story on that video. The video ends. It's just full-on fascist tyranny. It's like, don't disobey King Castro. King Castro. The Canadian press are scared. They were refusing to report on any of this stuff. You see the trucker in the red jacket. He peacefully surrenders. He puts his hands, he gets on his knee, and he puts his hands behind his head. And there's video of this, and it gets even better, meaning worse. You see 3 cops that breaking his ribs. I don't know how many ribs they break, but the trucker confirms they broke some bones on him. You could see them kneeing with all the force in their bodies, kneeing this poor trucker who's already face down in the snow. Kneeing him over, kicking him in the ribs over and over and over and over and over again, not just like a few times. The guy that filmed it from the building adjacent, up at elevation, his name is David Paisley. This is a good one. You want to talk about Canadian tyranny. The cops arrested him and stole his camera gear. Who knows if he gets it back. Threatened him, arrested the guy that filmed it. He's like up at elevation in an apartment complex or something, filming, this trucker getting... So King Castro there does not like people filming the cops abusing poor citizens. Ottawa police chief said they're going to hunt down people that helped anyone over the next few months and destroy them financially. They've already seized countless bank accounts, including a poor woman who now can't even buy food. I think her name is Miss Lane. The Canadian government is literally stealing poor people's money. This woman is a poor person that donated $50, and they've frozen everything of hers, and now she can't even feed herself. Also, too, instead of just going after people's bank accounts, there are multiple accounts of the company that person works for is also being seized and investigated, not just their bank accounts. Canada's finance minister said that she's going to make permanent these emergency tyrannical, totalitarian, dictatorial, fascist powers in King Castro's hands. She said, we're going to put them, these emergency powers, permanently in place. Isn't that nice? Why don't you just call yourself king dictator for life of the country? Canada's press are undeniably, since they're not reporting on any of this stuff, full-on conspirators of this tyranny, and they're not reporting it. And this is not even my opinion. You know, this is just full-on hardcore tyranny. The weakest people are always the most dangerous. And it really shows you how weak the people that are running things up there are. Hey, Canada, what you think, huh? Jesus. If they even dare to try to do that stuff here in the United States, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. I mean, let them try to do that stuff in the United States. Let them try. It's really shocking. I mean, just radical, hardcore tyranny. Does anybody support this King Castro that's running the country up there? I always wanted to go to Canada, like in the summertime where it's not freezing cold for like 3 days each year where it's not freezing cold in Canada. I know, just kidding. I don't want to, I don't want to go there. You could keep it. I mean, if that's the sort of, they literally said, this is not my opinion, they said they're going to spend months. They've already cleared out downtown. They're going to spend months going after anybody that made a donation or maybe like gave someone a free sandwich or something and destroy them financially. I mean, as someone who lived in communist Russia for a long time, you know, I mean, that's way worse than, you know, some of the most horrible things, and I've seen some bad stuff over there. So the fat guy with tattoos is more shocked at what's going on in Canada than the stuff he saw personally living in communist Russia. What does that tell you, Canada, eh? The guy that lived in communist Russia is more shocked by what's going on in Canada and way worse than anything he saw in communist Russia. I lived there both before and after the fall of the Soviet Union. Before in Leningrad, which is now St. Petersburg. Just full-on hardcore tyranny. So Canada was apparently gone completely ape. And I guess the message in this is don't you dare disobey King Castro. Jesus Christ, what the hell's wrong with those people up there? It really tells you who the press, I mean, we all know how evil and corrupt the press is. It really tells you how corrupt the Canadian press is, that they're not reporting on any of this stuff, eh? Except for Rebel News in Canada. But none of the big ones are. Because the big ones are all, you know, puppets of the... You know, it reminds me of reading Pravda, which was the communist-control with a fist. It was literally the right hand of the Communist Party. Soyuz Neresim, Pravda newspaper. I mean, the media in Canada is a wholly owned puppet of the Canadian tyranny that's running the country right now. It's like, you say what we want you to say, or we're going to squeeze you harder. This isn't funny. It's like, oh, those are nice neighbors to the north in Canada, eh? Yeah, being ruled by an iron fist. Got the poor guy face down, literally. He surrendered peacefully, and they're breaking his ribs. The video is very apparent. They're kicking him as hard as they can with their knees. Several cops, not just one. And the guy that films it, David Paisley, gets arrested, and the cops steal his camera gear. He's like up on the top of a building filming it, like, geez, man, eh? They steal his gear and arrest him. Man, this reminds me of Deutschland, circa 1942. Or when Stalin was around. Maybe instead of King Castro, we'd call him King Stalin. Jesus. Oh yeah, but Canada's a democracy, eh? Sure it is. Whatever you say. I didn't say it was one way or another. I just say it's democracy, eh? Jesus Christ. What the hell is wrong with people? See, what's happening is that the narrative, the whole reset vis-a-vis the coof, it's not working anymore. So we got a new. We're just gonna go full on tyrannical on you. Nobody's afraid of the coof anymore. Well, at least nobody with a half a brain, anyway. And since nobody's really afraid of the coof anymore, it's like, well, that's it. We're gonna roll up our sleeves and go full on Castro on your butt. In Canada, no less. You know, we're not talking about. I'm not gonna name another country where we would expect us to see this. It's like, where's this happening at? Which country are you talking about? North Korea? No, we're talking about Canada. What? Canada? Okay. Okay. You're stealing. You know, he's like arresting these people, right? Like they're doing in Australia. Even the Australians who've been completely crazy for the past 2 years, even the Australians are like, oh, geez, you you froze their funds to feed their family and kids? Oh, geez, man, we didn't think of that one. That's a good idea. Yeah, that was like the next step of tyranny we were considering. We never got there. Canada got there first. That's so hardcore wrong. I hope Canada's proud of itself on that one. Not that this country doesn't have a lot of problems, but I dare the United States to do what Canada's doing right now. I mean, I'd love to see that. Yeah, let's see that go down. Jeez, holy Christ! Phew.